Hey guys, it's Jalen. Welcome back. I'm here today to share with you my update for my Palette Love series. This is a series where I pull between 4 to 6 palettes every month and just try to use them twice, just so that each palette in my collection has some love. It gets some kind of love, some kind of usage. And last month I actually was working on 7 palettes, which I have found out is way too many. Because there's one palette that I didn't even touch. So that one is going to get rolled over into this month. But let me share with you the palettes that I was working on last month and that I got at least two uses on. The first one is a melt stack. This is the Love Stack. And I really enjoyed this one. I actually used this color with the green eyeshadows. And I also used this, which I think also with green. I used both of these. I was surprised. Those are not the two that I would have expected that I would have used. I also used this shade here. And the shade that I did not even touch is the purple. Go figure. I love this purple. It's a beautiful purple. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. But I used all the other shades. So, I enjoyed that. The formula is still fine on it. Next is from Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Zendo palette. And I also enjoyed this one. I think I used almost all the warm shades. I don't know if I used this middle shade here. I think I used all the other shades. But this one, yeah, that's the one shade I didn't use. But the rest of them I did. And I really did enjoy this one. I just realized I did not put an inner corner on my eye look today. That has to happen right now. What's wrong with me? I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can. Much better, I think. Okay. Next, I have a palette from Milani. These all have fingerprints on them, so I'm wiping them. This is the Soft and Sultry palette. This is very reflective. You can see my camera there. Marley, don't bug Ziggy. Hey. Hey, don't bug the Zigster. Shh. There's a moth. Right there. Now it's going to the other light. What are you doing in here? I'm surprised the cats haven't seen it. It's sitting on my tripod. Great. Great, great, great. Next from MAC, I have the Feast Your Eyes eyeshadow palette. This is from the fall of last year. And I also enjoyed this one. Now, the one shade I don't like is this shade. I think that is Golden Rage. But I enjoyed this purple. I enjoyed this shade here. I don't love the formula. Like, the colors are pretty, but I don't love the formula of those. They just don't get very pigmented, and you really have to build them up, like, a lot. Like, you would think based on how dark the shade is in the pan that it would be really dark in your eyes, but my finger swatches may be okay, but to be honest, like, it takes a lot for the eyeshadow on my eyes to look like this. It's not my favorite formula. But the shimmers on here are really pretty. I used this one, I used the green, and I think I used this one as well. So they were really pretty. Not going anywhere. Not my favorite palette, but still not going anywhere. The next one I used was by Dominique Cosmetics. It's the Berries and Cream palette. I feel like Ziggy may have gotten his teeth marks in here. Anyway, here is what this one looks like. This was also really nice. I did not use the blue, but I used like these two shades here. I think I used this neutral and this shade. I don't know. I may have used this shimmer, but I don't think I used any of the other shimmers because I'm working on so many shimmers. And to be honest, there's only 3 shimmers in this palette, like these 3 here. Yeah, this one's a sparkle, like a sparkly matte. Anyway, I really enjoyed the formula on this one, so it's staying. And then the last palette that I did use was the palette that I chose, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette. This is gorgeous. Oh, I really enjoyed this one. The mattes are beautiful. I even used this iridescent shade, really pretty. This purple is really pretty. I mean, the mattes, it's really pretty. Really enjoyed this one. Love it. Now the palette that I did not get to is another Natasha Denona palette as I clean it off. This is the Sunrise palette. So I didn't even get to touch this one. I'm really trying to focus on my Pan That palette for this year and trying to finish some of the shades that I'm working on. So this one kind of got left behind. It was, I could work on 6 and get those rolled out, but I couldn't do the 7th one. This one was just one too many. So this one is rolling over into the month of November. I'm excited about it though. So now we're going to pick 4 more palettes, one of which I will choose. So we're going to start with 3 palettes out of my Wheel of Names list. And if I feel like if one of them is really small, like a, 4 to 5 pan palette, I may pick one more. But for now, we're going to go with 3 from this list, and then I'll pick one myself. Ooh, we have the Vise Art Neutral Mattes 1. Okay. Number 2 is... Ooh, the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow in the shade Rose Water. That's a quad. Okay, let me just see what's next. And the next one is actually a gift from Valerie. This is the Milk Cosmetics She's in Parties palette. So let's see, we have a Vise Art Neutral Mattes. I'm going to go ahead and pick one more. Okay, the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. Okay, and then I will pick the last palette. So let me go grab these and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I'm just going to start with what I have like stacked here, other than the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, which I have already shown you. Sorry, my words are not working with me today. It's been too long since I filmed. So the first one I have is by e.l.f. This is the Bite Size Eyeshadow in the Rose Water colorway. And this one is really pretty. I heard great things about these little quads, but I have not played with this. That's what she said. So here are the 4 shades. So there's what? 2 mattes, one with shimmer, and then there's 2 metallics. So I don't love mattes with shimmer in them, but I mean, this seems like a pretty quad. But I'll probably incorporate some other mattes with these. Like from this palette. This is by Vise Art. This is the Neutral Matte palette. This is the original. So the interesting thing about this, as I opened this up to look at it, I noticed the edge of this was popped up. So I was able to pull this whole thing out. And I was thinking, I was like, wouldn't it be nice if I could depot these, because I have several of the originals that were not magnetized, and so now I'm wondering, I have a magnet, will these pop out? No, I'm guessing they're glued in. So what if I heat this up? Will it, like on a hot plate, can I maybe? Has anybody else depotted Vise Art palettes? I'm interested. Anyway, here is the palette. This has some really nice mattes. I've used this one a long time ago. It hasn't been any time recent. But these are definitely more of a neutral to warm leaning for like colors, shades. There are some cool tone shades here at the bottom, but the rest of it's pretty warm. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, really nice. Vise Art mattes are amazing. So I may try to depot this. We'll see what happens with that. The next one is also a matte palette. This is the Too Faced Natural Matte. This is the OG original. And here are the shades. And I feel like I've used this before. I mean, it's been a while, and really enjoying the formula. So there's some quick swatches. Seems nice. So they'll be fun. I think it'll be nice to incorporate these shades especially with the one I picked. The one that I picked. The last palette that was chosen for me is by Milk Cosmetics, and it's the She's in Parties palette. Again, this is a gift from Valerie. This is beautiful. Beautiful. The shimmers on this seam just, you know, they're not raised like some of those other issues with the Milk palettes in the past. Ooh, a little powdery. Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. That's really pretty. Very pretty. That's exciting. Now for the palette that I chose. I'm going with a palette I got around this time last year and I haven't touched. It's the Pat McGrath Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette. This was the holiday palette from last year and I have not touched it other than swatching. So this is the perfect time to use it, and everything else here is so neutral that I was like, let's add some color. So that's what we're doing. So I didn't show you the actual palette cover and the shades, of course. So I'm excited about this. I know from other people's comments and looking at this palette, it's not a standalone palette. I think you do have to incorporate some mattes into this. So I didn't swatch any mattes, but there are the shimmers. Yay! I'm excited. I mean, these mattes are pretty. There's only 4 mattes in here. I mean, there are the 4 mattes. So they're pretty, they're pretty neutral, to be honest. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're just neutral. And I'm doing this a little bit over a wet hand. So there they are. So those are the palettes I will be working on over the next month. I'm super excited. I will try to depot this and see what happens. Let me watch a couple YouTube videos first. I'm sure there are some out there. That is going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye, Ziggy. Bye, Gatos. Bye, Milo. They're out. Snoozing. Now for the palette. Not giving it away. Now for the palette. Okay, bye.